whole show. Watch out for this guy if you see him around. I don't know how he got into it. But anyways, this is my nemesis and my wife, or my ex-wife, who brought me so much joy and excitement and drama. So that's when the band ended. It's kind of a Yoko Ono type situation. Once I met her, well, the band didn't really matter anymore, and I was just focused on me and her. She's from Paris, and I met her, and we moved to Paris, France. And I have a story there as well, and it's a dramatic story, which we will not get into at the moment. But here's a couple shots that I took while I was there. I lived there for many years, and I went to the Louvre many times. I love to go see the artwork and all the greatest collection of sculpture in the world at the Louvre. And I played on the streets once again, just for the heck of it, even though she was rich and I didn't have to, but you know, I did it anyways, for the love of it, for the glory. I played piano at a few places in Paris, getting some work. Instead of playing on the streets and playing guitar, I went back to playing the piano a little bit. Piano gigs are usually more well paid than guitar gigs, right? Just so you know. Usually in nicer places, stuff like that. So once again, I returned to playing the piano. But, you know, I went back to Texas because I forgot to mention, her name is Peggy. But I affectionately refer to her as my crazy, rich French bitch. And I mean that in the best possible way, really. So anyways, as I was saying, she and I had a split again, and I returned to Texas. And I was playing again in the bars in Texas and playing with my band. And then I got accepted to the #1 film school in California, in the USA, in fact. It's Brooks Film Institute. And they were having a special program which was created by the guys who made the movie Avatar. So when I got accepted to that, I was really excited. I drove my car all the way from Texas to California, which was an adventure in and of itself. And I ended up right here on Ventura Beach, which is a nice place to end up. With the liquor store, you gotta have that right there, and the motel right by the beach. Perfect, my kind of place. And I was renting a house with other film students on the beach there. And this is kind of like some of the stuff, the big equipment that we had to work with and learn how to use. And one of my projects in the beginning was, the projects that we had to do was we had to recreate famous photos. So we had to get our models, we had to get the props, and we had to get everything together to make it look as close as we could to the original. And my first one was Roy Rogers, which was, I thought, kind of cool, considering, you know, I grew up in Texas, it would be an easy one for me to do. So we did that. What do you think? Not so bad? Not exactly the same costume, though. Not exactly the same smile, but I got the rope there. Anyways, and I got my Cowboy Elvis shirt on. So these are just some of the pictures that I got while I was in Hollywood, California at film school. And then I got kicked out of that film school. So I was still in California, and I said, well, you know, California is a good place to play music. So, you know, it could be worse. So I went back to playing music. This was one of the places that I played. A couple pics from there. This is the Doom Room in California. It's kind of a famous place in Ventura. Okay, so after all of that, I was kicked out of school, played all the stuff, and did all the work in California. But then again, it was looking pretty bad. It was looking like things were going to get bad for me financially. It's hard to get a job out in California. There's a lot of homeless people already there who've come from all over the country to be rich and famous. And so there's just an inundation of people without jobs and people looking for jobs. So it was a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be in California. So I ended up calling my crazy rich French bitch and saying, look, I need help. And since you work for Air France, you're the only one who could really fly from Paris to LA to save me. And she did. So she flew from Paris, she came out, we hooked up, and then we just decided, well, what the hell, you know, might as well get married. So we drove from Los Angeles to the Grand Canyon, and I would have loved to have those pictures for you, but my hard drive crashed, and we're working on what I could pull from Facebook last night until 4 in the morning. So some of this doesn't have pictures. So we drove to the Grand Canyon, and we went to Vegas, and we got married, and we did the Vegas marriage wedding thing, and it was cool. Then we drove back to Texas, then we flew back to Paris. And then I just started flying all over the world, playing music in as many countries as I could. I would just basically say, give me a few €100 and a ticket to wherever. Throw me there. And she would throw me to Norway, or she would throw me to Denmark. I've got some flyers here from many of the places that I played. This is one from Denmark, when I was at 44 countries. This is another one from Denmark, which is in the city of Ribe. This is also in Denmark was good to me. I have to tell you that Denmark is one of my favorite countries in Europe. They know how to party. It's a little place, but they're really fun once they drink, and they drink all the time. So, but anyway. So this is an example of what it was looking like while I was playing in Denmark once again, and the people who were really happy to see me. This particular night was one that went crazy, and I usually make a joke about security. I know it's good, but don't rush the stage. Well, they literally rushed the stage this particular night. This guy. I told you guys, not on this thing. But anyways, once again, this guy pops up every so often. I don't know what to say about him. He's kind of goofy and funny, but he's fun. All right, and then this guy, me, there we go. We're on, this is on a cruise that I took from Helsinki, Finland to Sweden, Estonia, and Russia. This was just this last year, and I got to go to make my goal of 50 countries, which was when I landed in Helsinki in Finland, and then took the boats around the Baltic, and I got to add 2 more countries, which was Estonia and Russia. And St. Petersburg was really very nice. Once again, I wish I had the pictures. This is also another place. I played at the Hard Rock Cafe in Oslo. This is from the Hard Rock Cafe in Oslo, as well as I played the Hard Rock Cafe in Helsinki and Denmark, Copenhagen, and in Japan. And I have the pictures here. This is in Bulgaria, Sofia, and this is in Japan. And this is me at the Hard Rock Cafe in Japan, Yokohama. I was pretty happy about that gig. And here's me again with the band in Japan. And I went as far away as New Zealand. That was pretty much the farthest away I could get. So I was really happy about that, because I never imagined that I would make it that far on the other side of the planet. It's very far from Texas. And this is Biddy Mulligan's, where I was playing there, one of many places I played in New Zealand, in Hamilton. After all that traveling around, my guitar had been worn down. And if you look closely, you can see that the metal has grooves in it from the strings everywhere. I wore it down all the way to the 12th fret, and the guitar started to sound really bad and make funny noises when I played it. So, fortunately, when I finally discovered Thailand and landed in Bangkok and started to run around here in the land of smiles, I had that guitar refretted and fixed. I got the job at Hard Rock Hotel when I got to Pattaya, and I was working there for 2 months on contract. That was really a cool place to work. This is what I was doing, some crooning there at the Hard Rock Hotel. This is in Pitsunulak, in the middle of Thailand, if you have not been there before. And it's a very Thai place. There was only one other foreign guy that I saw in the city. I'm sure there were some other ones hiding somewhere, but anyways, they had a huge stage with like a 15-piece band, and a friend of mine managed to get me onto the stage and convinced them that I was a professional. They weren't sure. And then I got up on stage with them and we just started playing and everything fell into place. And I got some great pictures from that event. I had dancers, saxophone, horn section. It was really awesome. So, back to Peggy, my ex-wife. So at this point, she lost faith in my gallivanting and running around the world and playing. Once again, we had a breakdown, and this was in 2013, and I got stuck here, stranded, with no money, and not enough money even to pay my first visa run, so I was gonna be overstayed, for sure. And I was basically a beach bum during that period, and this is what happened right there. I went fishing with my guitar, so to speak, and I was, doing the best I could, and I adapted to the scene, songcran, I got with it. I went with the flow of it, started to smile about everything and not take it so seriously, and then I started getting work. My Thai friend here, Sunter, DJ, he's a singer as well, and he does traditional Thai songs. And he ended up getting me, like for example, this gig is for the chief of police of all of Bangladesh. So I thought that was a good show to play. Good guy to know and say, hey, I played your birthday party, if I get in trouble, get me out of it. So this was a cool event here, and after that, I started to have a lot more work. I changed from being the beach bum to a Bangkok hustler, and I got serious. I got my suit on, got sharp, and I ended up working for the Sofitel at the rooftop of the rooftop of the Sofitel, the La Part, whatever it's called, the bar at the top of the Sofitel in Bangkok, which is probably one of the nicest places around. This is one of the flyers. And then I also was invited to sing at the Bangkok Superstar Academy, which if you don't know, this is the school where wealthy families send their children to learn how to become stars. Okay. So they asked me to come and sing and put me on stage in front of the class and said, this is how you do it, which was pretty cool. Nice of them to say. So I have the floating Bangkok Superstar there. I tried to make it like I was floating. But anyways, I also finally started to get more work in Pattaya. Other than the Hard Rock, I got the Centaur Grand Pratamak. I don't know if you've been over there. That's probably one of the classiest little boutique hotels around. They have a grand piano, a very nice one, which I was playing, and playing the guitar. They have the Shark Tank in the background. Really classy joint. One of the classiest places I played. I also, while I'm here in Thailand, I do a lot of bodybuilding and working out and exercising. I go to the gym religiously. I did some kickboxing for a while. As you know, I earned a black belt in Kung Fu, as I said earlier. So that is still a part of my life. And I try to keep it in as good shape as I can. This guy, again! We're gonna have to call immigration. Because seriously, this guy is overstayed. All right? That's the guy. Busted. Overstay in the land of smiles. This is the cover photo of my single. My new song for Thailand, which I have the CDs here. If anybody wants one, you let me know. They're 100 baht. This is for expats. This song is not really for Thai people, although I sing a little bit in Thai, so a few words in Thai in it. The song was written, as I told you, when my ex-wife left me here in 2013, and I was stranded, and I was overstayed by a long time. Back in those days, you could pay 20,000 baht and get out of it. Now you can't do that anymore. But fortunately for me, then you could. But during that period, things were not good, and I decided to turn that bad experience into something positive, trying to turn lead into gold, so to speak, like an alchemist. And so basically, I wrote the song. It's called Land of Smiles, but everybody calls it the Overstay song because the chorus, I'm saying, I'm overstay in the land of in the land of smiles. So I wanted to make a funny picture of a guy who's busted, overstay in the land of smiles, and this is it. This is the guy. So, fortunately for me, some people took interest in that song because it took me 4 years to return to Thailand and finish it in the studio and actually record the CD and 20,000 baht. And then when I finished it, you see, my ex-wife had come back again into my life and told me to move back to the Caribbean and that, you know, we're gonna work this all out. And she said, I said, yeah, but, you know, I've been working for a year at the Hard Rock Cafe in Finland, Norway. I've been working all over Europe and all the places I showed you just this last year. And she said, yeah, but you come to the Caribbean, bring all your stuff, you're moving back here. I got the house on the beach, we got money now, you don't have to worry. So you can retire and write a book. I was like, that sounds great. So I went to the Caribbean. Like I said, I opened for UB40. I showed you again. They remembered me. They had me on the stage, opened for UB40. And then I told her, well, look, you know, I've left the condo in Thailand for 1 year, and I need to go back and get the old guitar, this guitar, and the old stuff and all the clothes that I've left in Thailand. So she said, okay, well, we'll go back to Thailand, we'll clean up the condo, and you'll move back with me to the Caribbean. So we did that, and I didn't bring any of my stuff. I just came basically with one bag because I thought I was just leaving. Thailand was done for me. I was getting all my stuff moved back. Well, as usual, once we got back, I finished recording this song that I'm telling you about, and then my ex-wife got upset because I didn't want to leave, because the guys at Inspire and the TV said, we love this song. We're going to put you on TV and make a video for this. And I said, well, that sounds like something to wait around for. I don't want to go back to St. Martin just yet. I'm going to stick around. So I told my ex-wife that she wasn't having it. She ditched me again and left me here with no money and cut off my credit card when she got back to Paris. And yeah, it wasn't good. This is the second time around that, particularly here in Thailand, that she's done that. And it's just when the song is now starting to be known, and she should have been the most happy. But anyways, I don't want to get into how much I'm upset with her. Let's get back to the good news is that she ditched me, she left, and I stayed, but I did get on TV. I have been on the